Whether you have one plant or hundreds, you've probably come to realize that plant care is not as easy as it seems. I'm Cece with One Green Pea, and I'm here to help. Today, I'm going to share 5 of my very best plant care hacks that have helped me make my plant care routine more successful, more economical, and more fun. And watch till the end. I've got one hack that I've just started to incorporate into my routine as a bonus. Because I value your time, all of these tips and hacks are time-stamped down below. So after you watch the whole video, you can go back and revisit the ones that were most interesting or new information for you. Tip number 1, want a big full plant without the full plant price? You can often get 2 smaller plants, 3 to 4 inches, for lower cost than a bigger, fuller 6 to 8 inch mature plant. I did exactly that with my pothos and joy. I couldn't find the big full plant that I was looking for, so I purchased 2 smaller 4-inch plants and put them together in this pot. That was especially effective on this particular variety because it doesn't grow as fast as some of the other pothos. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with how it looks. Another way to get a fuller pot, we'll call this tip 1B, is to propagate your own plant and then plant the propagate right back in the pot. I am doing that with this philodendron. It was getting very long and viney, and I wanted to fill out the bottom. So I took a cutting off the top. I've been rooting it, and there's a teeny tiny root growing. It's gonna take a few more weeks before it's ready, but I'll transplant it right in here next to the main vine, and then it's just gonna look fuller. I'll have to do that several times to make a full pot. But another great way to get a fuller plant for free. Tip number 2, as your plants grow, they're going to need bigger and bigger pots. And bigger pots are expensive, especially if you have a certain design aesthetic you're trying to maintain in your home. So my hack is to use a basket. Baskets are much less expensive and they go with a variety of design themes. When my Ficus benjamina needed to be up-potted, rather than get a giant ceramic pot, I just found this basket that I really liked and purchased a much less expensive plastic pot, put the plant in the plastic pot and the pot in the basket. And I think it looks rather lovely. Not all of us have a house full of bright indirect light, and the windowsills that do get that kind of light can quickly get full of our plants. So tip number 3 is to elevate your plants to help them access more light. Not all plants are big enough just to be placed on the ground and be able to get enough light. So I have done this with a lot of my plants. I have used wooden boxes, plant stands, an old ladder, and even just repurposed shelving. So in order to help your plants access more light, sometimes all you need is to give them a little lift. Tip number 4, chopsticks are not just for stir fry. I use chopsticks in a variety of ways in my plant care routine. With this plant, these sweet little vines needed some support, and so I have put chopsticks into the soil and then just attach the vine to the chopstick so that they have something to grow up. Another way I use chopsticks is to aerate soil. Every couple of times that I water, I bring chopsticks with me, and then I just gently poke some holes into the soil so that the soil doesn't get compacted and the roots get stuck in a tight ball. A third way that I use chopsticks is to test for soil moisture. I'll place the chopsticks into the pot, and then when I pull them out, if soil has stuck, then I know that that plant is wet and probably doesn't need more water. If the chopsticks come out dry, then the plant is likely dry and ready for a drink. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to go out and buy chopsticks. You can get them anytime you order Asian food. A good reason to order takeout. And tip number 5, coffee filters are useful for more than just your morning cup of joe. I will tear a small piece of a coffee filter off and then place it in the bottom of a pot before I pot up a plant. What that allows is for water to run through the drainage hole, but soil stays inside. Even better, you can use a used coffee filter. So after you've made your morning pot of coffee, empty out all the coffee grounds and then use that to put at the bottom. It doesn't matter if it's already wet. All 5 of those plant hacks have been a part of my plant care routine for ages, so I know they work. Here's my bonus tip that I've just begun incorporating into my routine. Some plants are just magnets for spider mites. I have treated my Alocasia amazonica so many times for spider mites. Here's the thing you need to know. Spider mites do not like moisture. They prefer a dry environment to thrive. So now, whenever I water my Alocasia poly, I spray it with neem oil. I just give it a spritz. I don't do as thorough a spraying as I do when I'm actually treating the plant, but it provides a little bit of moisture. It's totally non-toxic for the plant, and it also will get rid of any small infestations of spider mites. And because neem oil kind of stinks, I really like using this neem oil by Leon and George. They have added eucalyptus oil to it so it doesn't smell. So now, whenever I water my Alocasia poly, I spray it with neem oil. I just give it a spritz. I don't do as thorough a spraying as I do when I'm actually treating the plant, but it provides a little bit of moisture. It's totally non-toxic for the plant, and it also will get rid of any small infestations of spider mites. And because neem oil kind of stinks, I really like using this neem oil by Leon and George. They have added eucalyptus oil to it so it doesn't smell. Thank you for watching my video. Remember, your likes and subscribes go a long way toward YouTube promoting my channel so more people can take advantage of my information and entertainment and encouragement. Until next time, my plant friends, let's keep growing together a greener world.